Regrettably, and I say this as a Kenyan, through localized insurgencies, a state of insecurity, unprecedented insecurity, was experienced in those areas. Made voters who would otherwise have wanted to vote not to exercise that right, and those who didn't want to vote became the beneficiaries of that mayhem. My lords, you are now confronted with a very unusual position. Can our apex court allow localized insurgencies to be grounds of invalidation of a contest? And this is at all levels of electoral contest. Could an MCA, for example, ensure that in certain pockets in that ward, no elections take place, and then approach the court and say there were pockets where, or polling stations where no elections were held? And that, my lords, takes me to a very important constitutional question, which is the question of that request being the incentive to do wrong. An incentive to do wrong would be that a person who now wants to enjoy or benefit from his wrongdoing. It is a perverse incentive, because we ordinarily use the word incentive for doing good. It becomes a perverse incentive because it's the incentive to do wrong. And that takes us to what I had alluded to, a circular argument. The argument would be there is a contest. Before the contest, or at the point of the contest, one uses local youth to ensure that in some pockets in the country, there are no elections. And then you use that to invalidate the result. If we were to allow that, my lords, then we'll be on a permanent circle, because then with the perverse incentive that you can actually get the elections nullified because certain areas did not vote, then that becomes a very good incentive for our political players at all levels. I would urge you, my lords, in all humility, as a court that has got the constitutional mandate to ensure that there is governance in this country, and governance which is based on the Constitution, to very, very strongly say you cannot invalidate an election on those bases. My lords, that is a very humble and passionate plea, because it is for this court to give guidance to political players at all levels as to what is permissible and what is not permissible. We must now inculcate a culture in this society as to what is permissible and what is not permissible. No court other than this court has that authority. It is only this court which has that authority to uphold a regular conduct of elections, and that governments shall be in accordance with the Constitution. My lords will notice in the fullness of time